Hi everyone, it's Marian and welcome to the start of my backyard series. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we are currently outside in my backyard and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make over this space. In case you didn't know, I recently moved to a new place and one of my favorite things about it is having my own private backyard. So I'm really excited to make it over, add my plants, do some gardening, and this is going to be a start of a backyard series as mentioned, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do everything that I wanted to do in just one video. So I'm excited to make this into a series. And for today's video, I'm working with Vigo Garden, and I'll be sharing with you how to set up two of their modular raised beds. And I'm really excited to be working with Vigo Garden because they are a sustainable company, and of course I love their raised beds. You might have seen their ads on YouTube already, and I'm really glad that they reached out to me and I'm very excited to work with them on this episode of my backyard series. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Marian. Welcome to My Wasteless Life, where I take you along my houseplant and sustainable lifestyle journey and share with you some of my tips and tricks along the way. I also share some personal and travel vlogs here and there, so if that type of content interests you, make sure to subscribe to my channel before the end of this video and make sure to like and comment down below. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm shooting this outside in the backyard, so excuse the background noise of birds, cars, and vehicles like that. But I'm really excited to share with you what I've done so far with the backyard. But first, let me show you a before of how it looked like when I first moved in. And as you can see, it is a nice space, but there's a lot of like making over and tidying up to do before I can do anything else in this backyard. First thing I need to do is to clear it out. So there's a lot of items that are supposed to be bulk trash, so I need to like take them out. So first I did take out the tires, and there's like some furniture items that also need to go out. The tires were already collected for bulk trash, but there's still like a couple of items that I'm still waiting for bulk trash to pick up. And after that, I have to mow the lawn and figure out the weed before I could set up the garden beds that I got from Vigo Garden.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening.
So now that I cleared out the backyard, I have a better idea of what I want to do with it. And the two garden beds that I got from Vigo Garden really came at the perfect time because it fits into the vision that I have for this backyard. So the first one they sent me is the 4x4 modular raised bed, and I thought it would be perfect on the right side of the backyard because that side gets east facing light, but because this is a fenced in backyard, it wouldn't get the harsh south facing and west facing sunlight. And also when I first enter the backyard, it will be the first thing that I see, so I want to make that into my tropical bed garden. As you may know, in my old previous place, I did one, and unfortunately, I can't bring that garden bed here with me. It's just gonna be too much work, so I'm really glad to receive this 4x4 modular raised bed from Vigo Garden. And in the previous video, I shared how I set it up, but if you missed that, don't worry, I'm gonna share it again in this video. It is quite easy, and it's very easy to build. It's Teddy, and he's gonna help out today, I guess. So, okay. So for this garden bed, it comes with 4 of these, and then it comes with 4 of these. So these are the different ways that I could set it up. I could set it up just as a square with the rounded edge ones. I could do it as a 6-piece and have it just be like 2 feet by 3.5 feet. I could do like a really large square with the sides. I think that's what I want to do. I have it be like the longest setup, which is like 2 by 5 feet. I think I'm gonna do like the large square because that's kind of like what I envisioned for the backyard. Like when I opened the yard door, this is the first bed that I see, and this one is going to be like my tropical bed garden. So like when I first come in, that's my first view, because my goal for the backyard is to give it like a Hawaiian vibe, like a tropical escape vibe. So that's kind of like I want to do. I think we're gonna do the large square and see how it fits. The thing is that it might be too big for the area, but we will see. So I'm gonna take out the hardware, and I got the nuts and bolts. I have assembled enough stuff at this point that this should be pretty easy for me, hopefully. Okay, so I have to remove all the film on all of these panels. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll be right back. But this is how it looks like without the film. So it just gets a little bit matted without the film. So I took out all the film and shaped it into the shape that I want. I have to like screw it all together, of course, but this is what it looks like. So I'm excited for it. It's like big enough, but not that big that's going to be hard to fill up. So I'm excited. So yeah, so let me go ahead and hold it all together and see how it looks.
Such a wonderful delight.
So I was able to put it all together with the nuts and bolts. It's pretty easy. The hard part was just like trying to tighten it up, and I used this tool. It came with it, and you do have to secure it or else it's just gonna fall apart. And then the last step is to put this lining on top, so for like safety protection. So that's what I'm gonna do now.
Forgo, give up everything that I own.
So that is the garden bed all set up. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. The hardest part was tightening the nuts and bolts, and the strip over there was pretty easy. It got hard when the panels overlap, but it was still pretty okay.
Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you.
So now that the first garden bed is built, it's time to build the second one. This time, this is the 11 by 2 modular raised garden bed. But because these garden beds are modular, you could pretty much create it into several different sizes and shapes as long as the parts allow it. But the 11 by 2 feet is a perfect size for the left side of the backyard. That side would get the west facing as well as the south facing sun, which is perfect for me to grow vegetables in. So that's what I'm going to do with the 11 by 2 modular raised garden bed. So let's go ahead and build it. Well, this is the second modular raised garden bed that I got from Vigo Garden, and this one is bigger than the first one.
How unexpected love was. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm on.
So those are all the parts, and this is the one that we're doing, the longest one, and it's gonna go right over there.
You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh.
So it's actually easier to tighten everything up with a screwdriver instead of the tool that came with it.
So slow, hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say.
So this is the Vigo garden bed all set up. This is the 11-foot by 2 one, and I did add the reinforcer in the middle, and I'm gonna add dirt to it. So now that the raised beds are set up, it's time to fill them up with soil. And when I first shared this on TikTok, I got a lot of grief from some of the homesteaders in the gardening community saying that I'm doing it wrong. First, this is not my first time doing a raised garden bed, but I am still very much a beginner. Second, I do know that I could fill it up with dirt first before I fill it up with garden soil. Vigo Garden actually is a very good guide on how you can fill up your raised beds effectively. First, you put carbon at the bottom. This also prevents the weeds from going in. And next, you put a layer of wood scraps, sticks, and all of that. And the next layer is compost. And then you can do your garden soil. So it makes it very economical and also very effective for growing your plants. But like I said, I just moved into this place, so I don't really have access to a lot of like dirt or compost or anything like that that I could fill my garden bed first. I gathered up as much as I could, like after I cleared out the backyard and mowed the lawn. I was able to gather some dry leaves, and also have been here for like a couple months now, so I was able to like build some compost from my vegetable scraps, but it's still not enough to fill 2 garden beds. But I still want to be as economical about it as much as possible, so I chose like the cheapest garden soil that I can find right now at Lowe's, which I think it was enough to fill up the garden beds, but I'm not sure yet because I haven't planted anything in them yet. I'll see if I'm gonna need more garden soil or not, but for not, I think it's filled up to where I want it to be filled up.
that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh,
In addition to a couple of their raised garden beds, they also sent me a couple of their garden lights. These are solar powered, magnetized, that fits very easily to their raised garden beds and makes great lighting, especially during the evening for my garden beds, and I love them.
You're the rose in a garden.
Alright, so I mowed the lawn. There are weeds on the corner that I couldn't get. So I'm gonna use vinegar. I saw this on TikTok. It will help get rid of the weeds naturally. So let's try that. So I sprayed pretty much every like edge. So we'll see if it works tomorrow. But now I'm gonna rake.
And it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say you're the rose in a garden.
So did the vinegar trick work? Not really. I'm still just pulling out the weeds, but I think I also didn't really put a lot of vinegar. I just like sprayed some, and I think I need to like douse it with vinegar. But now I'm just gonna like pull out the weeds by hand, like I should have done in the first place.
And it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves
They shit on my hand too.
and I've come out here to say.
So that is the progress I've made so far in my backyard. I'm able to clear it out and set up the 2 modular raised garden beds from Vigo Garden, and I'm really excited to start planting, and that will be in the next episode of my backyard series, so do watch out for that. And if you're interested in any of the raised beds, garden lights, or any products from Vigo Garden, I'll have their website linked down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please do subscribe. I come up with videos every week, and if you haven't yet, go check out this videos up here until the next one. But until then, I see you, I appreciate you, take care of yourself and each other, and have a plantiful day. Bye.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain.